Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So what I have here today is yet again the 2025 Honda Civic RS Hybrid. Having driven this to last year at the Autofocus Test Drive Festival. So I decided I want to give this a little bit more screen time now, and I do love the performance of this vehicle as said during two of the test drive. So first, I'd like to thank everyone here at Honda Cars Makati for making this review possible. And once again, to Sir Jeremiah, she's the same person who assisted me here during the Autofocus Test Drive Festival. With the looks of this hybrid, I do like the eyelashes here just below the LED lights itself. You get the same amount of ground clearance at 134 millimeters. And if I were to buy a Honda Civic RS EHEV hybrid, it's definitely this red color. It just looks so stunning, especially here on the side profile and exclusive to for this RS variant. You get blacked outside mirrors. Again, there are door mounted to improve all of the aerodynamics and further lessen the wind noise going into the cabin. And you get an exclusive ducktail spoiler. The rear is exactly the same like with the older pre-facelift model. The boot space, a little bit smaller now than the pre-facelift model at 493 liters. But a big upgrade now with this RS Hybrid. These are running now on 235, 40, and 18 series tires. Now, the design looks really good. This is the first time I got to see this up close and personal. But got me thinking, what if you put this on the older NSX models? Interesting prospect. Powering this all-new Civic RS Hybrid, first we have a 2-liter naturally aspirated Atkinson cycle 4-cylinder engine mated to this little fellow, a 1 kilowatt-hour battery that produces a combined output of 184 horsepower and 315 Newton meters of torque. So for the geeks out there, the engine alone produces 141 horsepower and 181 Newton meters of torque. Down on power to the non-hybrid 1.5-liter turbocharged engines. However, yet again, mated to this electric motor, this has more power and torque than that of the non-hybrid. So this internals is somewhat exactly the same what you get in the CR-V RS Hybrid, but this one's a much smaller battery. But having driven this too in the Autofocus Test Drive Festival, this electric motor actually packs a punch. Now, this is the interior once again of this Honda Civic RS Hybrid. Here the door card, a lot of leather and squeegee material with this ambient light strip surrounding this gloss black. I don't mind it since you're not going to be touching that anyways. And the interior overall is just as good as the older models. You get this honeycomb design pattern throughout the dashboard and the same controls for your air conditioning system. I still geek to this day. I love all of the details, and then same here too with the air conditioning controls, and I like they're all physical and it's very easy to understand. Here on the left side, you get another air conditioning vent, brightness for the instrument cluster, and then 2 more buttons here for your parking sensor, electronic stability control, steering wheel, just as good as the old ones, very chunky and very nice to the touch. Even the red stitches here don't feel as rough as I thought. You get paddle shifters too, despite too being a hybrid, and buttons here for your phone connectivity functions and for your adaptive cruise control on the right side. And yes, this Honda Civic RS Hybrid is still equipped with the Honda Sensing, which you can see above. And there's a lot more tech and safety features given this is the RS variant. And two, this has a 12-speaker Bose surround sound system. And another highlight too with this RS Hybrid now, get a digital instrument cluster with all of your important information, and you can see if this car is running in your engine or your electric motor itself. And another upgrade too is this 10.2-inch infotainment system with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with a Google built-in system. For Android users like me, well, actually even Apple users, so you don't have to open your Google Maps anymore, or I mean rather connect your phone to the infotainment system, since you can just literally search for the place and it will all be there. That's a very nice touch by Honda. And further down below, you get 2 Type-C USB ports, a 12-volt socket, and a wireless charging pad. It's actually so wide, you can fit larger phones there if needed. Center console box, you get this nice weave once again. Gear shifter, 2 cup holders, then the toggle for your drive modes, electronic parking brake, and your auto hold function. Even this center console box cover, it's all leather with red stitching. Open it up, very decent amount of space, and there's this extra removable plastic here if you want to put for your coins and for your RFIDs if needed. And above here, sunglasses holder, LED lights, visor, get the vanity mirror with light, but apologies, it's covered in plastic. Ah, they still don't extend. Right? Yeah, anyways. But look how thick this is. And the seats here too are a nice plus. Again, with the leather, along with red stitching. And there's more Alcantara bits now here for your back and for the cushion. It's very, very nice to sit in. Now, few more details on the exterior of the Civic RS Hybrid. For the right side mirror, there's an extra camera just underneath. And then, I'm not sure if the non-hybrid gets it too. You get black door handles. That's a very nice touch. In the door card, pretty much the same like the ones in front, but this time there's no ambient light. Take note too, this is not my diving position. Example, if someone was like almost 6.5 feet, look at the space, it's still pretty good, but still that is not so bad. Here's a shot in the demo unit with my diving position, and headroom is pretty good despite the sloping roof design. Yeah, I'll be happy to sit here at the rear and get a center armrest with 2 cup holders. Sadly, it's not too high up, I mean, compared with most cars, but you can still place your elbow here at least, and it's really, really soft. And here in the middle, you get 2 air conditioning vents and 2 Type-C USB ports, map pockets on either side, and the transmission tunnel is really tall, but it's kind of narrow, so it's not in the way of your feet that much. But if you want to put your feet up, it's still not so bad. Yeah, there's no thigh support, but for short trips, it's okay. And one of the few cars that I know of, sitting here in the middle is a little bit more softer than in the regular seats because you had a soft central armrest and a softer cushion for your bum. For your reverse cameras, I'll be honest, I wish the quality was just a little bit better because it's exactly the same like what you get in the Honda City. And there's more things you can do here, like example, to see the power flow meter if you're running on EV alone, as such. Right, if you're still in EV, so this you can go at least up to 60 kilometers per hour. But let's gun it later on. Oh, look at that, how smooth everything is. And this is for your instrument cluster. There's a lot of things you can do. I think you can update to the maps, what music you're playing. That's a nice touch too. And this is the reason why I wanted to drive this Honda Civic RS Hybrid again, because well, it's just so good to drive. And I wanted a bit too of highway experience since I did the Gymkhana test earlier last year. Yeah, this one is very, very smooth. Just as good as the pre-facelift model, but a little bit more, well, I would say a little bit better rather, because again, you get more quietness now, if that makes sense, and not much road noise going in to the cabin. I mean, there is, as you can hear, but it's not as loud as I remember. And the ground clearance is not too low, not too high either, but going over even the biggest humps here, like around in Magallanes Village, yeah, don't have to do the S maneuver to go up the humps themselves. It says here 9.3 kilometers per liter. That is not bad whatsoever. Of course, you can get better numbers like on the highway. Now, what's special too with this Civic RS Hybrid? I mean, it's just so nicer since you have now the electric motor itself. I mean, look, we're running 30 kilometers per hour. We are still using the electric motor itself. 1 kilowatt hour may not sound big, but it's just enough to propel this sedan. Of course, it's way smaller than the CR-V, but almost same internals and all that, and an updated engine too. Remember, this is an Atkinson cycle engine. That means it can save fuel, and it can even save more fuel because of this battery. So here, let's try to wake up the engine now, and we're just in normal mode. Ooh. Right, as you heard too, it kind of shifting gears. Remember, this is mated to an electronic, continuously variable transmission. So there's a lot of play too, even though this is a hybrid. That's what's nice too with this Honda Civic RS Hybrid. So if you go to sport mode, and then you can play with the shifters. Now, 315 Newton meters of torque on the top is really nice. So this is like almost borderline like that of a V6 vehicle. Yeah, no joke. Something really, really nice with the Civic. Yes, it's not totally a V6 or per se a Type R itself, but the performance is right there. And despite to being on sport mode, does not hamper the electric motor itself because again, we are running on pure electricity despite being on this mode. And this is what's nice too with most modern hybrids. Yeah, even though you wanna play a bit, it will still ensure you that you're in EV mode to save a lot of fuel. Here now, we're back in the highway. Apologies, this is not actually a manual. It is for your region braking because I'm slowing down quite a lot. But I like it still kind of simulates shifting of gears. So this CVT is among one of the best in the business. This feels like more of a traditional automatic transmission rather than a CVT. That's what I like. It pulls. So cool. Whee! Right, you get to high speeds literally in no time. And it sounds good too. So it kind of sounds a bit like a Civic Type R without, of course, the exhaust themselves. Remember, this is just pumped-in audio. Another addition too with this Civic RS Hybrid, this has 4 driving modes now. Now there is an individual mode. So I left it there most of the time because if you want to drive this like sensibly here around in the village and then suddenly you want to burst out in the highway itself, this is the perfect mode out there. But of course, Eco is gonna be the best if you want to save a lot of fuel. And the range too is really good despite having a smaller fuel tank at 40 liters. But hey, it's gonna be very, very cheap to fill up since you don't need like the premium fuel. You can just run this on unleaded. And as you heard earlier too during the highway stints, yeah, it's very, very good. The ride is not affected whatsoever. It's still so composed. Yes, it's not as good as a CRV or some like regular crossover like with the HRV, but it does give a very, very sporty character. That's what I like with this Civic Hybrid. Now, against with its competition, yeah, there's a lot of them. But of course, for loyalists, in probably like me, hence I'm wearing this jersey itself, there's no better car out there. Yeah, the price point though is kind of steep for what this is at 1,998,000 pesos, borderline of 2 million. But again, you got literally the best of both worlds of having a sporty vehicle whilst being fuel efficient at the same time. This is probably one of the better hybrid vehicles that I've tried out. And visibility all around is actually really good too because you can see using the corner camera, and for the blind spot, there's corner windows on the B-pillar themselves. It's a really good all-rounder. This is probably what I like with the Civic, and probably too what is missing in the entire lineup. A hybrid with good enough performance. And you're in the national speed limit, just like that. That's how quick this Civic RS Hybrid is. And at the highway speeds, you're doing like, 15 kilometers per liter easily. And this is with me gunning this thing almost the entire time I've had this vehicle. And to driving this on the highway, you still have the Honda Sensing Suite, which is pretty nice. I've demoed it too properly during my HRV test drive. So check it out. And one more time. I like when it's automatically shifting and then you suddenly brake. Yeah, brakes is firm and pretty strong too. Now, this is something that I like to with the tuning of this vehicle. Honda did a lot with this brake feel, so it doesn't feel too artificial. Hence, this is a hybrid vehicle. To be honest, this is one of these more sportier side of hybrids, and probably the one I would take home. Probably, I've said that with a lot of car reviews, but I'm a Civic fanboy too, so that's all I need to say. Again, I'd like to thank everyone here at Honda Cars Makati and to Sir Jeremiah, who assisted me here in this test drive, just right there behind, and Jeremiah C beside me. So, hope you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you with more probably Honda reviews coming right up here at Honda Cars Makati, and hopefully we can drive finally that special car. So, stay tuned for that. Bye-bye.